Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, what I did was the two columns, nutritious and non-nutritious column, which we created in the last class. I sorted the nutritious column for top 10 values, and when I went through the values, I noticed that all the food items that are highly nutritious are being served only in the US and not in India. So I plotted. I understand that somewhere near Houston area, you have the outlets which serves maximum items of nutritious items. Correct? Maybe we can check this particular area in Google and see where exactly is this located. Correct? So when I'm seeing here, this location is a highway. Correct? You have McDonald's right over here. You have McDonald's right over. You're able to see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Location is right over here, and you can see that basically you have nice parking, but the what confirms me is that this is located on the highway where there are lot of industries, lot of students which are traveling in and out of the city. So it is located in an ideal location where you see here you can see a school here, you can see one more school here. Correct? You can see some industrial areas here. There's one more school here. There's one more school here. There are a lot of schools in and around this area. Got it? So this is one of the analysis what you can put in saying that the area, because MACD wherever the location which where it serves the maximum nutritious food. So that is an ideal location where a lot of industrialists, a lot of students keep traveling and they prefer to have nutritious food. So it is an ideal place where you have a lot of education institutions, you have manufacturing units, you have a lot of commercial establishments. Okay. Now the question is, would the same food be preferred in India? Would the same food be preferred in India?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So basically, your chicken and fish, beef and pork. Correct?
Yes, sir.
It's not really. But what we do is we keep a note of this and we move on to the next analysis. Okay. So from revenue perspective, I once again I try to understand from revenue perspective where exactly my data set is. 1 minute. Normally it has some issue. Okay. My matplotlib has some issue. It doesn't throw the graph out immediately. What I do is I categorize my items and I understand which food item gives me the maximum revenue. Again, once again, I see here that salads giving me the highest revenue, followed by beef and pork. Okay. Now the question is, are these items served in India?
No.
Correct. Now, coming to the selling price. Once again, salads and beef and pork on the top. Okay. So the basic understanding is that you can even quote much higher price on these items, but in India you don't even have these items. Correct? Now the question is, now if McD introduces salads into the outlets in India, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Let's say that all the outlets in McD introduces salads in their store. What is the first thing that comes in your mind?
The nutrition will go up
In a layman's point of view, you may think that who will eat salad in McD, correct?
yeah.
In
Yes.
India, McD is like a luxury place, whereas in US, it is basically a no, economical restaurant, correct?
Yes, sir.
So we have this notion that why would I eat salad in McD? A lot of people think in this way. But from business perspective, is it the right way to think? How do I check it? How do I understand is salad the right item to bring in McD?
Using the past record, that is how it has gone. The nutrition value as well
You
as
don't have a past record for India. You only have the record for US. You don't even have the past record for India. Now, how would you understand if bringing in salad would be good for McD or bad? It's simple. You need
see.
to experiment it.
Yeah.
Correct?
Try in some places and see the
Correct.
outcome.
Locate some, shortlist some of the McDs, experiment it, understand the behavior, correct? And then introduce it everywhere. Called random sampling. Are you guys clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
when you do your data analysis, these are some of the suggestions which you can give it to the management. You don't right away tell the management that you have to salad is being famous in US and introduce salad everywhere. You have to go step by step, and the first step would be to experiment and understand if the suggestion really would work. Okay. Now coming to the next question, that is, how is the total cost price of the outlet based on category of its best selling item? Did I made any? Is there any change in the code? What I'm being used here with respect to this? Even with respect to this, the answer is no, right?
No,
I
sir.
just change my columns and change my color. That's all. Correct. So basically, first I analyzed on the revenue. Second is selling price. Now I am doing the cost price. Okay, the total cost. Even coming to cost price, again beef and pork and salad are on the higher side. But is it still generating more revenue? Correct, right? It's generating me more
Yes, sir.
revenue. So with all the three graphs or charts in picture, what you can suggest is to experiment it in India. If salads are giving maximum revenue, why not experiment, right? Now, coming to the next part, that is geography and outlets. So this is where we bring in our initial discussion, where you had raised the question when we did the first graph. That is, where are stores located? Correct. So, so all you have to do is So put a color on the country, okay, and then you see that the pink is India, correct?
Yes, sir. Orange is US.
Orange is US. Now, with this, what you understand is the only possible business type in India is joint venture, correct? Whereas in the outlets in US are either licensed or either company owned. Okay. With this, what do you understand? What is the issue with joint venture?
It is not under a single person or something like that.
Correct. There is
Shares.
no 100% control.
Yeah, the
What
shares are
other?
divided.
Correct. What other aspects? There's a problem with authority. There's a problem with ownership. Even your decision making takes time. Correct. Everything is diluted. And problem is you lose control. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Whereas with license or company owned, you don't have such problem. Okay. Now, moving on, what I do is I go with top 10 outlets in India and US based on revenue. Okay. I check for India and I plot it. I see that for India, there is small, tiny little dots. Correct. And for US, I see huge checks of circles, right? So apart from revenue, what could be the reason for this major difference? We all know that from our analysis that US outlets are generating more revenue. So keeping revenue aside, what could be the other factors that US is generating more revenue?
That is the food which is given. That is something which they eat in common.
That is one factor, yes. And you're missing out the most important point, that is the
People who come in.
no, there is dollar benefit in US.
Ah, yes, sir. The
Correct?
conversion, the rate
Conversion,
conversion,
yes.
money conversion. Yeah,
There is high purchasing parity in US.
yeah,
Correct? People, what you said is also right because people visiting the stores are also high. What happens when more number of people come? You get revenue in dollars.
yeah.
Correct? So the difference is huge. So in US, it is a regular food, whereas in India it's luxury. Correct? So US always generates highest revenue, and you might want to plot it on the heat map to understand the state-wise revenue. Okay, and when I plot it, this is how it shows. Okay, now you can understand that Texas is generating the highest revenue, powered by Illinois. There is Arkansas. Then on the lowest side, you have the darkest area. This is, I think, Arizona. Then you have Florida. You have your Los Angeles. Okay, but the difference what you see with respect to India and US is that in India there are hardly any restaurants. Correct? There are hardly any restaurants. And the country, I mean, states like West Bengal, Gujarat, correct? There are no restaurants. Okay. Now, Now, coming to how much gross profit margin for each outlet overall, let me just run the code. On the gross profit margin also, MACD is more acceptable in US as that in India, correct? We can compare this point with respect to either gross profit margin or revenue or even selling price, all will point towards US only, correct? Okay, moving forward with the nutritional value and geographical information. So basically, what I want to do is I want to compare the food as in nutrition between US and India. Okay, it's a bivariate analysis, it's a by theme analysis. So I'm comparing nutrition and my the geography. Okay, so what I do is I compare this through bar columns. It's a stacked plot. You guys remember stacked plot, right? You guys with me?
Yes, sir.
In our data visualization section, we learned about stacked plot, right?
Yes, sir.
So what I do is I create a column called take all the nutritional elements. You have your energy, protein, sugars, total fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, carbohydrates, dietary fibers, sodium. Okay, and I plot it through for loops. Now, coming to your energy. Okay, coming to energy. Which country serves high energy food? Is blue higher or red higher? It's almost balanced, right?
Yes, sir. Very
Yes, in the
good.
beginning part, there is equal. At the end, it is almost India. So
Almost
India.
Indian. It's
yeah,
almost balanced.
when we see the overall, it is balanced.
Overall, it is balanced. Yes.
Yeah.
Coming to protein, what is the case here? One more point I'd like to highlight is it is not stacked. I mean, it is not stacked one over the other. Okay, the bars are not stacked one over the other. It is one on the other. Okay, so coming to the first one, it looks almost balanced between India and US. What about protein?
So one on the other, in the sense, India, for the first one, if we see breakfast, it is
C.
from 0 to 12,
Correct.
and USA, is it from 0 to 26 or from
No,
there the remaining
it
part?
starts from 0 to 26. It's just that uh, your plot for, let me hide this part. Now, if I run it, it starts everything from 0. Okay,
Okay.
just breakfast in US has 300 calories. Okay, now, now the same breakfast in India has, sorry, same breakfast in US has almost more than 500.
Yeah.
Now, if I see in combine, this is the difference between India and US. That means this part is behind India. Okay.
Yes,
Got it, sir.
understood. Got it.
So, with that thought in mind,
So which is
energy
below
looks,
means, so the part which is below, it is common for both.
it is common for both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, here coming to protein. When you see protein, it feels like US is dominating here. A
Yes.
little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming to sugars.
Yes. US is dominating.
So in what I suggest is nuggets is an outlier. Let me just check the code. I think I have some issue with the code. Yeah. Okay. Nugget is an outlier here. Nobody puts too much sugar in nugget. Okay, there is an outlier. That's the reason why nugget is coming in. But overall, it is balanced. Okay. Now, coming to total fat. Now the picture is different. Slowly, red is dominating, right?
Yes, sir.
India is showing more colors. Taste of India. Coming to saturated fat. Once again, India is dominating. Coming to cholesterol. India is dominating, right? Coming to carbohydrates. It looks balanced. Coming to dietary fiber. Once again, US is slightly dominating. Coming to sodium. Here, India is totally dominating.
Yes.
So, sodium is one of the favorite food item for Indians. Any guess why?
Because salty food.
Correct. India prefers food to be. India prefers to add salt in food. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I do the same analysis using box plot. I did bar graph here. I did box plot here. Okay. I do the same analysis using the box plot. What do you infer from energy? US is dominating, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Protein, once again, US is dominating.
Dominating.
Sugar, US is slightly dominating. Total fat, maybe towards
Because
US when you see the median. Saturated fat, now slowly India started to come out.
dominant.
Cholesterol, slowly, there are more outliers. Carbohydrates, once again, little up. Dietary fibers, once again, trying to give a competition here. Sodium, India is totally dominating. Okay. Now, coming to analysis based on outlet metrics, menu items, and geographical information. In this, the first one, what are you going to? How is revenue generation based in on different menu items in India and US? So what I'm going to do here is I have grouped India and US, and based on the category of the item, I'm checking the revenue. So which item is giving me the highest revenue, irrespective of the country? Okay. What do you observe from this? Most of the items in US are all giving more revenue, right? And most of them have very similar percentage distribution, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So your salads and beef and pork out of the among all the items in US has highest revenue. First is salads, followed by the second one beef and pork. Okay, but when it comes to India, almost all the items are generating similar revenue, correct? I can see two of them, 1.9 and 1.9, correct? Basically, your nuggets and your cold beverages. These are giving highest revenue. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at the end of every analysis, what I do is I note down what I observe from my analysis. Okay, and at the end of my EDA, I go through all my observations and I create a conclusion. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So one doubt in the previous one.
Yes, Rahul.
Here we only see the percentages, right? Not the color, right?
We see the percentages,
Only
not the
the
color.
percentages we
Yes,
consider. Okay,
yes,
sir.
yes. Okay. Now, coming to the conclusion. Okay. The first is it will analyze that the items in menu data set can be categorized as nutritious and non-nutritious. That's what we did. Correct. We and we obtain the different chart and range of values and the percentages, right? So based on that, it is beneficial for demonstrating different range values for food items such as protein, sugar, the dietary fibers, fats, carbohydrates, cholesterol, sodium, and their proper consumption from menu items. Okay. So basically, what we are trying to say is it is store should demonstrate how much of the dietary fibers, how much of the uh, nutritions present in each of the elements, each of the items. Basically, store should display it in their outlets for better decision for people visiting the stores. Correct? Okay. Now coming to the third point, that is the US food industry has been development. This is where you do some extra analysis. That is something you do your extra research. Okay, and understand what additional revolution is happening in US with respect to your food. Okay, you have to go out of your data and do some research on why food in US is little more nutritious. I would say much more nutritious than Indian food. Okay, so during the research, what we learned that the food in USA has risen as high developed and high benefit area because of there's a lot of research happening in food processing. Okay, so what we understood is US food processing is a totally different industry altogether, and it is controlled by government. Okay, and there are a lot of private players also contributing to this with lot of research. So what two things we learned in research is like one is your backward integration, and the other point is called your GM, that is genetically modified food. So in US they are promoting more genetically modified food and high yielding seeds. So basically, your genetically modified food means that in US there is a type of let's say there is a type of potato which you can deep fry it and still you will have 70% less oil in it. You might have heard about certain fruits being much bigger in size than your normal fruits, and also they don't rot soon. You might have heard about this, right? Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
So based on so there is a lot of research, and based on the research, the food in US, the food in US having better nutrition content than in India, because India is still under the initial steps in evolution of the food. Basically now in India, what's happening is companies like Reliance and Big Basket, they just started with these activities. You might see that in when you go to more, or when you go to when you order food from your grocery from Reliance, you understand that it's something called as organic foods. Correct? something like farm grown or organic. Okay. So these are the food items. It is still under development in India, and it will take some more years for McD to be profitable. Okay. And secondly, in India, the primary concern is that you are in a joint venture, so you do not have direct relation with workforce. Correct. Now, if you have to work on this case study today, okay, the good thing is MACD need not be on a joint venture. Okay, foreigners can own it directly. Foreigners can directly invest in it. So this data, have you, if you have received the recent data, this data is around 15-20 years old. If you receive the recent data, then the things would have been different. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So coming to actionable insights, and this is where you're going to give certain insights to the company, saying that what could help the company make use of the data and do something out of it, like do take some actions on its present situation. So we have summarized it into 3 points here. So the first point is, like, in order to increase the outlets, like revenue profit, it has to open more outlets, because we saw that there are very less number of outlets in India, and we basically we requested for owned and licensed types instead of joint ventures. Correct. So in today's world, when the government has allowed you, you should open more company owned and licensed ownership. Correct. And the second point is talks more about the nutritional content. That is, it can be improved by good agricultural practices in India, like your genetically modified crops, your high yield crops. Correct. This is where the topic of globalization comes into picture. In today's world, India is through going through globalization, right? So India is westernizing at a very fast rate. That means you can go for a lot of technology exchange and go for better agricultural practices, right? If MACD goes with joint ventures, does MACD has control over agricultural practices in India? No, right?
No, sir.
But whereas if it is company owned, company can actually focus more into the raw materials which it's receiving, such as your potatoes. Okay, it can actually help the farmers to grow in a much nutritional manner. Okay, now the third point, that is, it needs to introduce more food items on the menu, have higher nutritional content like US, eventually help to increase the revenue, because the items in the menu are very limited, and most of the Indians do not prefer to go with those menu items. It needs to introduce more of the food items. So these are the three actionable insights we found out through our research and through this analysis. Okay, you guys have any doubts on the topic?
So the conclusion will be of two parts, right? What we observed from the data and how we can improve the thing.
Correct. Certain its conclusion, it's like you are summarizing what we observed,
Okay.
and actionable insights is something what you're
Giving back
conveying
to
to
them.
the company or conveying to the customer, that what better can do.
Okay.
What are the hidden truths you found out, and what are your views on improving those? It talks about the few next action after analyze the data. What is your next action? It talks about it. Almost all the data sets need not have both conclusion and actionable insights, it depends on the case study and the problem definition, right? Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So based on this case study, can we work on a aspect where okay, we can framework proper steps for our EDA? It's taking some time. You guys are able to see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you guys seeing the whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
So what do you do in your data analysis? What do you do first thing in your data analysis?
Define the problem.
Correct. You have your problem, problem definition. And the second point would be your importing
Packages.
libraries or packages. Third point would be
The data.
importing data set. And the fourth point, what you do is you do your dot info, dot describe.
To get a deeper understanding of the data.
Correct. Understand the data. Fifth point would be your pre-profiling, right?
Yes, sir.
Sixth point would be after pre-profiling, you have to do the
Process.
data cleaning or processing. And the seventh point would be
Post profiling.
correct. You do your post profiling. Describe, you see your data types also, right? It includes everything. You see your data types and everything. After post profiling, what do you do?
Questions.
You do your EDA. Correct? You do
Yes.
your EDA.
Using the problem definition, like what questions are there, we ask and we find out.
Correct. Based on the problem definition, you can ask the suitable questions, or you can do your analysis. You can do your own analysis, like your
Yeah.
univariate,
Yeah, bivariate and compare the things and
variate, multivariate. Okay, your univariate, bivariate, and multivariate, and based on your analysis, you will get the solution to your
problem.
problem definition. So, what will be the next step?
Conclusion.
You give a conclusion.
And then the
After
insight.
multivariate, it can also have your research. Once this is done, you will understand that if the data is sufficient enough to answer this definition. If it is not sufficient enough, you either go back saying the data is not sufficient to answer the problem definition, or if you feel that you can do something about it from open sources, you do your research and try to connect the dots. Correct? After that, you give your conclusion and you give your actionable insights. Okay. Once that is done, the next topic would be your machine learning. So in this, what you do is you do feature engineering, okay, where you convert all your columns from category to numerical. So all your columns should be you have to convert to numerical columns, because ultimately you know that machines cannot read text data. Correct? Machine needs numerical data to process. Are you guys with me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You do feature engineering, you do XY split, where Y is your target variable and X is your input variables. Okay. An example I can give here would be like selling price of house would be your Y, whereas the input features such as number of bedrooms, your number of washrooms, the the area, the locality, okay, and certain questions like is it close to supermarket or kilometers to supermarket, kilometers to city, which floor the building is. Correct? All these will be your input variables, and this will be your output variable. And why do we need to do machine learning? That is to do the prediction. Let's say that tomorrow there is a new house coming into the market. You need to understand what will be the selling price of that particular house. How do you do it is through your existing data, right? So you do your XY split. After doing that, you have your scaling, because you need all the features in the same scale. You do your scaling. Basically in scaling you have min max scalar, okay, which we learnt already. Correct? Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So once you do the scaling, what do? You do you do train test split. Now the need to do train test split is because you need to have some fraction of unknown data to watch for tomorrow's. Let's say that tomorrow you have a new data coming in and your model needs to predict it whether it is whether it is predicting the right information or the wrong information. You need to know what is the accuracy of your model. You need to know how much you can rely on the model. For that, you split the existing data into your training data, through which you're going to train the model, and your testing data to understand if the model is giving me the right results. Basically, you can go with 70-30 split or 80-20 split. Okay, so use 80% of the data to build a model, 20% to validate it. How would you validate? Because for this 20%, you will have the information on Y, that is your target variable. So you compare what Y you have with Okay. Once you do this, fifth point would be based on the training data, you build ML model. I'll not go in detail in this. I'll only keep it as a summary. And once you build it, you do your model evaluation. By building the model means I am not building only one of the model, I build multiple models. I do my model evaluation, I do my model tuning, I tune the model so that it gives better results as compared to my basic model. I call it as hyper hyperparameter tuning. Okay, I call it as hyperparameter tuning. Once that is done, I have my after that I do my model tuning. After that I evaluate my model once again, and the eighth point is selection of best model. The selection would be based on the evaluation metrics you define. It could be, if it is a classification, it could be your recall score, it could be your accuracy, or it could be your precision. It all depends on how you're going to choose it. But this topic will not be covered until you complete your project. Okay? Any doubts on this? You guys have any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All these points will be explained in brief. You don't have to make a detailed note about it. Just if you understand the overall idea, that is well and good. But before we get here, we will try to close this with one more case study. Okay, we'll first focus on one more case study. After that, you have to focus on your projects. Once that is done, we will step into machine learning. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back at 12:15 and we'll start the second case study. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you guys back? Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, before we start this case study, okay, what I was planning is, should we have a session on doing a data analysis in the class, like from the scratch? Maybe after this case study, we can, that
Yes,
would
sir.
help you
Actually,
more
help us.
about
Yeah,
doing the data cleaning part,
yeah.
Yes,
From
sir.
the base.
because certain data will be too dirty that it will take a lot of efforts to clean it. So maybe what I'll do is I'll find a good data set which needs a lot of cleaning, okay, and that we can solve in the class, so that to give you better understanding. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, are you guys clear on this topic? What we had discussed? Any doubts?
First part is clear, sir. The machine learning part understood little, little.
That's fine. That's fine. When you start machine learning, it will be very clear to you.
Yeah,
Even to
in the first part only that profiling part, some like exactly what to do. That
we
it
did
was that.
pandas profiling, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's basically that. It should be in this also. Pandas profiling. See, we did the pandas profiling, right? So in pandas profiling, we created a separate. What's the name here? Okay, this one. We created a separate notebook, right, to understand what is wrong with the data. Complete analysis. This is what it is. Basically, profiling and cleaning comes in same topic, but we have categorized so that it will be very clear to you. But correct.
Yes, sir.
So even to understand your data analysis part, it's not like you understood right away. We took some time, right? We took some time. We went with each and every point. Correct. Now when I plot it, I mean draw it, I mean write it all for you. It is very clear. Point by point, it is very clear to you. So we'll do the same even for machine learning. Okay. So now coming to the second case study, or no, I can say that this is the last case study what we are going to do. Okay. So this case study is of IT workers. Okay. This case study is on IT workers, IT employees, basically discussing on the mental health of IT workers. Okay. Now, why would somebody want to analyze mental health in workspace? Any answers?
Maybe through the health perspective, how they face the like, what are their what is the condition of their mental state while they are at work. How
Correct.
they
The work,
how they
what they
manage
do
the
is more
workload.
mental than physical, right?
Yeah, need to
If
be
the
prepared mentally. They
correct,
should have
correct,
that. Uh,
correct. So when your brain is pushed too far, you feel mental stress. So now stress is a part of your mental illness, and we do not talk about it, right? We do not normally talk about it. We hide it. Okay. So now this is a case study related to mental illness and the openness towards it. Okay. Now the data what we got is from an open source website called OSMI, that is Open Source Mental Illness Help.org. Okay. Now this is an it's, I can say this is a freelancing organization. Okay. So they are trying to make people understand that mental health is also just as important as your physical health. Okay, when you click on research here, you have your year-wise research. You can for 2020 you can click on get data. Okay, and you'll get your data to do the analysis. Directly you'll open Kaggle where you can download this data over here, and it gives brief about the data set, what it is. Okay, and there are case studies from 2014. So whatever case study we are having, it's from 2014, and feel free to explore the case studies which are there years after also. And even now there is a case study of 2021. You can directly click here and take a survey. And if you go to videos, you will understand about how they talk and about mental health, basically how they prepare their analysis, like how they present their idea, something like this. So this is a type of a pie chart which you can make using Python, right? A simple pie chart. So they don't make a very complicated presentation to show it to your audience. They make a simple pie chart and show it. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So coming to the problem statement. So your problem statement is to figure the essential parameters affecting mental health and its acceptance. Okay. Now, whatever data set we have, I'll have two questions on it. That is, the first one is the data set a sample? Okay. I basically said that we have, sorry, we have, you're using 2014 data set. I have 1400 responses on the survey. Okay. Is this a sample? Is this a sample or a population?
1,200 is no, how many have responded? So
No,
it's the
generally
population.
speaking, it's an open source survey, right? So it's a sample, whereas a population has millions of employees working in IT
Yeah,
industry.
yeah, all over the world we can.
Correct. Now, this data set is basically from your developed countries like your US, your Canada, your Europe. Okay. So, with that thought in mind, I can ask the second question, that is it reflective of population?
To reflect the population, there should be representatives from all the countries. It
All the
cannot be,
countries, yes.
yeah, it
Correct.
cannot be specific
It is
from
data
one.
is preliminary focused on developed countries, only
Yeah.
US, Europe, Canada. So their problems are much different from our developing countries like India, Singapore, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us go back to our data set. Okay. The data what I showed you, the link is over here, and you can understand the video also to understand. Okay. Now these are the columns what you have in your analysis. These are the columns what you have in your analysis. Okay. Now basically when I say it's a survey, okay, there's going to be a question and an answer, right?
Yes, sir.
So each column is answer to certain question. So most of the what you can understand from this is most of the answers are textual in nature, not numbers. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Yes,
there's
sir.
one more column called comments. In the end, you have a column called as comments. Okay. Well, what is the problem with this column? What could be the general problem with this particular column?
There is no specific question for which the answer will be given.
No, when you give a feedback, let's say you're giving a feedback in Amazon or Google or wherever it is, do you normally fill this column?
And that is not mandatory. Like there will not be a star mark. So anyone, if they want, they can give. There will be missing values.
Correct. Shaina, what are your thoughts on this? Shaina is there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, my mic and my internet connection is very slow.
Okay, okay. What are your thoughts on comments column? Do you normally fill comments when you give a feedback?
So could you repeat?
Let's say that you're taking a survey from Google. Okay. Do you normally fill comments column?
No,
No, right? So,
no,
so even here, it's a general survey. Do you think all the employees will fill the comments column?
no. Very few.
Very few, right? Correct. So, we'll face the same issue here as well. Okay. Coming to the data columns, the timestamp is like the time for survey submitted. So, since it was taken in the year 2014, the timestamp could be like any time during 2014. The age would be like age of the respondent. Then you have gender, you have country, state. Okay. You have certain questions like self-employed, family history, like do you have a family history of mental illness, then treatment, have you sought treatment for mental condition, work influence, if you have a mental health card, do you feel that it influences your work, number of employees, how many employees does your company or organization have, remote work, do you work remotely outside of the office or it's just like work from home, is your employer primarily a tech employer or organization, does the employer provide mental health benefits, correct? So we have a lot of questions in this. Now, let's say that I have missing values over here in timestamp. Does it really affect my analysis?
No, sir.
And here in comments,
That is also not that necessary.
slightly okay, right? That
Yeah,
is
because
like
sometimes they
is it
uh,
totally bad or totally okay?
not totally bad because some questions will not be there in the survey which they want to express, so they put that in comments.
No, so it's like okay bad, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about let's say mental health interview? Would you bring a mental health issue with a potential interview? Okay. What if I have missing values here? I lost some part of my insightful data, right?
Yes, sir, because it's the main part of the question, like
Correct. It's the
what
heart of my
issue.
data. Yes.
Yeah.
That will change my analysis. Okay. Basically, now the last question would be how would you analyze comments?
Maybe we can take it as a part of conclusion.
So let's say that I have 1200 rows of data and everybody has honestly given the comments. So you're going to read all 1200 comments in your data analysis.
I mean, we pick the similar points or something like that.
Okay. How would you pick that?
Mm, maybe the most repeated words or something like that.
Correct. You're heading to the right direction. So basically, what you can do is you can extract all the good comments. Correct. You extract all the bad comments. Correct. Give a convert rating or something to this. Correct. And so this rating would help convert the good comment to a convert your good comment or a bad comment to a numerical, correct? Let's say it is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is how they are rating. Or a bad comment would get a rating of 1, good comment would get a rating of 5, correct? Basically it's a sentiment analysis. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Basically you are doing sentiment analysis, you're doing language processing. So these topics come under a major topic called NLP, nothing but your natural language processing. Basically natural language processing helps you convert your text to number. Machine will only understand number, right?
Yes, sir.
Basically it helps you convert text to number. Okay, but here in our case study we are going to drop comments. Okay, because I'll tell you why. When you do the analysis, or when I show you the data, I'll tell you why. Okay, now I load my data through GitHub and load all my packages. Okay, and first thing what I do is, you can see, first thing what I do is I do ms dot head. I have my timestamp, age, gender, you have country, self-employed, I have missing values here, I have family history, treatment, correct? It is basically textual data, right? And comments, I have lot of missing values. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, coming to data types, I'll see the type. I see that timestamp is an object, but I see the timestamp supposed to be my date time. I need to work on this. Age is int, gender is an object, rest everything is object. Okay, coming to info, what do you observe here?
1,259 comments. Sorry, responses we have got.
Correct, there are 1259 data points.
Response. Yeah.
Okay, but there are some missing values in state.
State, work interfere.
Now as I said, in your in this data we have data from US, we have data from Europe, and we have data from Canada. So if a person is in US, if I have a missing row in state, is it okay to me? It's totally okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, but whereas if I have missing values here, work interference, correct? When I have missing values here or self-employed, I'm losing my important data, right? Are you guys with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Samantha, good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So we just started analysis of new data, that is mental health in tech workspace. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now I do a describe. No, before that, when you observe comments column, I see that I have only 10% of the data. I only have less than 10% of the data. Should I keep this column or should I delete it? It doesn't make sense, right? With only 10% of the data.
Yes, sir.
So that is why we are deleting this column here. Okay. I do a dot describe. Okay. What do you observe here? What is the first thing you observe?
The missing values.
Yes, we have
Especially in timestamp, they haven't given. No, no, not timestamp. Lot of missing values are there, sir.
a lot of missing values. Yes. So self-employed, it says that the top is NA, correct? There are two unique values. If I have missing values, what I can do is the other one could be yes, right?
Yes,
Here, if it says it doesn't mean that I have missing values. It says that it's not I can't take a mean of yes and no, right? This column is categorical.
yes, sir.
But what is the primary aspect you missed to observe here? Look at it, look at the data very carefully. Especially for categorical column, you might see something that would immediately struck your mind.
For the age, sir.
Categorical column.
Ah,
Gender has 49 unique genders. The top is male, we don't know the balance 48. Correct? Are you guys with
yes,
me?
sir. Yes, sir. The gender unique values.
We have 49 genders. Now, how are you going to solve this? Even age column. There is someone with a age of 1259. There is someone with the age of 1259 years old. Sorry, this is the count. There is someone with the age of 7 lakh something. Standard deviation is everywhere. There is a minimum age. Somebody is aging on the negative side. Correct? And there is 2.7 everything has changed here. Age has a lot of junk values, right? The moment you see the standard deviation, it's a huge value, right? Even mean is a huge value. The average is 7.9 million years of age. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So age has a lot
Yes,
of outliers. And coming to comments there are a lot of missing values, right? There are only 160 unique comments, and out of 1259 there are only 164. So we make an observation of everything. Okay, I see a top 10. Okay, now before I get to it, what I do is I do a pre-profiling. So there are we looked at the data to dot describe, and we saw there are a lot of things that are wrong with the data, right? So let's go and see what we will find in pre-profiling. Okay. So how many numerical columns? How many numerical column do I have?
two, sir.
Two columns. Categorical 20.
20.
And I have 6 Boolean columns. Okay. Do I have any duplicates? There are 0 duplicates. But I have missing values. Correct? Coming to variable This is for the index. Coming to time stamping is unique, but it doesn't matter. Coming to age is having lot of junk values, right? Age has lot of junk values. Your minimum age is 1726, correct? Maximum is 72 years. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
When I see common values, I see that there are 29, 25, let's say extreme values. Minus 1726, minus 29. I have minus 1 year old. There is 5 year old. Okay. If I see maximum values, this looks to be okay. Okay. Coming to gender, I have 48 distinct values. I have male in capital, male in small, female, M, F. Correct? Somebody has written make instead of male. I see the unique words. There is NaH. Okay. This needs to be fixed. Coming to country, I have United Kingdom, United States, Canada, Germany, Netherlands, and other values. Correct? I have there is 10 from India, New Zealand, other countries, but basically it talks about around 60% is basically from United States. Correct? So 80% of your data is only from here. Coming to sample plot has 18 missing rows. Family history is fine. Treatment looks fine. Work in inference has missing values 264. 21% is missing. We need to fix that. Number of employees is fine. Remote work is fine. Tech company is fine. It's just a basic, yeah, true or false. That's why it looks shows boolean. Benefits is categorical. Yes, don't know and no. There are only three unique values. Care options is once again categorical. Wellness program again categorical. This is again categorical. Anonymity is categorical. Leave is don't know, somewhat easy, very easy, difficult. Mental health consequence again categorical. These are all categorical columns. Then there is comment which has 87% missing values. I'm not on company's health insurance, it could be part. Maybe there are a lot of textual information, like Rahul said. Correct? Coming to missing values, there is missing value in state, but that is totally okay. There is missing value in work inference. Correct? How would I solve this? How would I solve missing values in work inference? Interference, sorry. Any suggestions? Can I replace them with mode? Coming to interference. Work interference. It is sometimes, never, rarely, and often. What could be the mode here? What is the definition of mode? Mode is the maximum
Value.
repeated
Yeah,
value, right?
maximum repeating.
Element or value. Which element is repeated maximum number of times? Basically, a work interference is category.
Some. Yeah.
So there are four categories. Sometimes is repeated maximum. Can I replace this missing values with sometimes? Yes, I can, right?
Yes, sir.
I have 1239. I have once again self-employed. What about self-employed? Can I use mode? It's basically it's boolean, yes or no. Even your answers are boolean. I am expecting either yes or either no. I can, right? Okay, then you have first 5 and first 10 rows and for last 10 rows. Okay, so we make a list of all the observations. So we do the pandas profiling. We understand what is wrong with the data everywhere, and we make a list of all the observations. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you able to see the screen? Okay, so the first aspect was what is the issue, major issue with the data set? The first thing is gender, right? I need to work on fixing this. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the second big issue was with the age. It has some values which are far too low or far too high to be
Real.
real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Negative values.
Correct. State should be null only when the country is something other than US. That is fine. Total, it's not a major issue. But self-employed has 18 missing values. This is something I need to focus on. Work interference has 264 missing values. This is something I should focus on. Correct? These two I can replace with mode. Correct? Conditions. Okay. What is this? Mental health condition. Then the big issue is on the comments. Missing values. It's an optional toolbox. So this we are deleting it. Correct? Because we only have there are 87% values are missing. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the age, I check the minimum age and I check the maximum age. Okay, and I check if there are any missing values. Okay, and I find that the minimum age is negative, maximum age is like this. We are just exploring the age here. Okay, so basically I segregate into A and B. A is nothing but with the age which is greater than 75, which is having there are two rows of data which is having age greater than 75, whereas when I print B, I get three rows of data which is having age less than 0. Okay, now I see. I understand. I want to understand the gender column. I want to understand the gender column. I see that there are 49 unique elements, and I see the distinct elements, and I create a set and put it in that. I see that there are three genders basically: transgender, male, and female. Correct. So I take a list of this. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, basically, what I do is I start conversion of my data set to I do the data cleaning here, data normalization or data cleaning or whatever you call it is. Okay. Based on my profiling and some more analysis, I do my insights and do the final observation. I understand that timestamp, age, gender is the major issue with my data set. Okay. So before I start it, what issue we are having is that each and every column has one capital, one small letter, correct? Sometimes small letter, here small letter, sometimes capital letter. It's very disturbing for you, right? To understand whether the column is in capital or whether the column is in small letter. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
what I do is I normalize it. I normalize it. Basically, I use a function str.lower and I map it to all my columns. So all my columns becomes translates it to small letters. When you have a lot of textual data, it is best that you convert to everything to lowercase. Okay. Then the next point what I do is I convert my timestamp to date time format. I convert it to date time format and it's in date time now. Now focusing on missing date, missing data and imputation. So what I do is I collect all the missing values. I take all the missing values and put it in ascending order, I mean descending order. Okay, and I take the percentage also and the missing data. I have the missing data and percentage. I mean, I take the total and percentage and I concat this information, okay, and plot it something like this. Or if you could directly call it, it looks in a neat manner. So basically, in missing data, comments we are anyway deleting it. These are the three aspects where you need to be focused on. Even state you need not be bothered much about it, but work interference and self-employed are the important columns which you need to work. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, coming to your comments. So I'm dropping the comments and I'm dropping my timestamp because these two columns are of no use for me. After I drop it, I have my data set where my columns are everything in lowercase. Okay. I need to work on now outlier treatment, basically age. So what I do is, since age has a lot of negative values and positive values, I'm going to establish a bandwidth. That is, if the age is greater than 0 and less than 75, I'll keep it as is, or else I'll replace the value with the missing value, np.nan. Okay, and I keep this information in a different column called age underscore clean. I create a separate column called age underscore clean where I do my analysis on this, but I take the information from my age column and I apply it to my function where if the age is greater than 0 and less than 75, it will keep the age in same condition. If the age is, let's say if it is less than 0 or greater than 75, it will replace it with the missing value. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay. Once I apply it, I check my analytics where I find that after conversion and for clean age, I have minimum value as 5 years old, maximum as 72 years old. I have basically 5 missing values. Okay. I have 5 missing values and I do value underscore count. 5 is repeated once, 8 is repeated once, 11 is repeated once, and it goes on. But I will not work on these columns because in US and in Europe there is a custom like even the small children they can go and take a small internship program. So considering that in mind, I will not touch these factors, these age groups. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, coming to the next item, what I do is I use this clean age column. I call head. I have my age here. If I come to the end, I have age underscore clean column here. Okay. So if the age doesn't have any issue like 37, 44, 32, it keeps as is. I use now clean age column. Okay. And I delete all the NA values. I mean, I purposely replaced some outliers with missing values, correct? So I am going to drop those values, and for the balance values, I am going to give a category. Okay, I have made certain categories. It is less than 18, 18 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, and 45 plus. Okay, once I run this and see it, I have one more column called age group. It is having categories, whereas 37 years old will be under the category of 35 to 44. 44 will be under this category, 32 under this category. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now that I have age group, I will plot it. Okay. I'll plot it. And what is the distribution I see here?
Normal distribution.
I see a normal distribution. I see a normal distribution here. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can even use dist plot and you get this nice looking normal distribution. Now, have I cleaned my age column? It's clean, right?
Yes, sir.
I have clean age and I have age group. So I can delete this. Okay. Now, moving forward to categorical, where you have missing values. We had state, work interference, and self-employed, right? These are the three categorical columns which had missing values. So coming to the first, that is self-employed, I'm going to take a mode. The mode is no here. So what I'm going to do is fill NA dot mode. Okay. So after filling mode, I'll take unique. I have yes and no. Even for work interference, we discussed earlier in profiling, I take a mode, I get sometimes as the mode. I use this because I don't want the index. I only want the word sometimes. Are you guys with me? So I replace it with mode. Now I only have 4 unique elements. Okay. Now the last and most I mean headache part is your age group. You have, your category of gender. We have male, we have female, and we have trans. What I have to do is I will go through each and every category, okay, each and every entry, and I categorize into male, like male, maleish, male, mal, male, cis, make. I make a separate list. I make a separate list for your transgender. I make a separate list for female. Okay, then what I do is I iterate over the column and I replace it with male. If the value in the column is matches with your this list, matches with this list, it will replace it with male. If not, if it matches with your second list, it will replace it with female. If not, it will replace it with transgender. Okay, that is what I'm going to do here. And okay, are you guys with me? And finally, I have some more bullshit in my column. If I can pull that. Oh, sorry. Okay. I have some bullshit here. Obviously, mail unsure what really means. Okay, not that. Let me give dot unique. Okay. If I if you see it carefully, you'll get this text somewhere. A little about you.
The last line, sir. Not last line.
Not found it.
Yeah.
A little about you. This doesn't make sense, right? Whether it's male, female, or trans, correct? So I delete it. Okay. How I delete it is I take inverse. That is, if gender has this particular item, just inverse of this. After that, I only have on three categories of my gender column. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can stop our discussion for till here, or maybe I can show you the distribution also. After cleaning the data, you have your column as something like this, that is male, female, and trans. It is neatly distributed. 1000 male, 250 somewhere female, and hardly 20 or 30 trans. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we'll stop our session here, and the next session we'll work mostly on your EDA. Okay. If you guys have any doubt, you can stay back, or else you can drop for the day. Drop for the day. And Samantha, I'll try to upload the recording sooner. Maybe within 3 o'clock, you will get the recording.
Okay, sir.
So you can spend the evening listening to the recording.
Yes, sir. I'll do it.
Okay. Any doubts?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Rahul. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry I joined late today.
And no problem.
I'll listen to it in the evening.
Yeah, sure.